This is a Fox News alert. I agree with Bill Maher on something. The liberal comedian saying straight-talking Trump and Sanders are winning over voters because Americans have been choking on political correctness from politicians for years, and they are just sick of it. Now, Jessica, you're a lefty loony. I have to say Maher's right, but he's right.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is more an issue on the right than it is on the left. There are certain lines that I think are ridiculous. Obviously, you know, we have to take down American flags and we can't say Merry Christmas and things like that. But in general, the left is not really interested in the kind of straight talk that Donald Trump is putting up there. The real issue is the independents, those in the middle who may be left-leaning a little bit and are really sick of the PC culture. And that's where I think Maher could be right. And I take offense to the loony component of the lefty introduction.
Really?
Yeah, I do. A macroaggression, in fact, not just a micro.
Very well, could be. Let's say Jonathan, Howard Dean will defend Hillary Clinton. He'll defend the PC culture to the death, but at least Bill Maher says it like it is. You know, it is hurting their brand.
Although, Eric, I have to say, I think there's a difference between being politically correct and kind of just being a jerk. And I think oftentimes the former is used as an excuse for the latter. I don't think it's politically correctness, to be honest, as much as just stop evading reality. So when the president, for example, talks about terrorism, he just can't get the words out Islamic terrorism, or he keeps talking about the success of all these green energy cockamamie subsidies. He can't admit that they actually don't work. I mean, honestly, if it was a day, today, it wouldn't be a day that lives in infamy. It would be like helping families and children and
Jonathan,
you wouldn't say it as it is.
What do you chalk up the success of Bernie Sanders on the left and Donald Trump on the right? I mean, they are similar in that respect, that they're outsiders and they're not PC, either one of them.
I would attribute it, Eric, honestly, to an authoritarian streak, unfortunately, among a lot of American voters.
Okay, so define that, because I think I think there is a certain amount of that. They want to be told how to think, how to feel, and how to vote.
Yes.
All right, fair enough. Michelle, now you disagree with it.
I disagree. I think the reason why people gravitate towards Bernie Sanders, not because what he's saying is politically incorrect, because it's not politically incorrect. In fact, most of his supporters are the people who want to be in a safe space. People like him because he's challenging the status quo. When it comes to Donald Trump, he's doing the exact same thing. That is his appeal. But it's also because people feel as though they are marginalized. Their voices are marginalized because everything they say offends everyone. And here is Donald Trump saying the things that they feel in a very non-PC way, and that is what a lot of them are, why they support him, what his appeal is.
Now,
it's not authoritarian.
Jess, there is maybe some of a little of both. Jess, Michelle points out the status quo. They're sick of the status quo. Status quo has been PC on both sides of the aisle.
I think that's fair. I mean, this is the anti-systemic election, right? I mean, that's what's going on here on both sides. And Ted Cruz, he's in on this a little bit, too, even though he's a senator, that he's running an anti-systemic campaign and saying that he's going to, you know, turn Washington on its head, and he's so proud of how he shut down the government and all that good stuff. So we're seeing people just being sick and tired on both sides. I think of things not getting done more so than the PC culture. I know that the PC stuff can get annoying. I feel that as well.
Bill Maher himself has said that might cost Democrats the election.
I don't know about that. If the Democrats lose the election, which I do not believe that we will, it will be because people are unhappy with Obama's presidency, not because of the PC culture.
John?
Well, you know, they're consistent as well, Eric. I mean, Donald Trump is very consistent, and of course, Bernie Sanders is very consistent as well. Maybe it's not PC as much as it's just an appeal to emotion that binds these two candidates together. Obviously, Bernie, in terms of, you know, help the working poor, but also Donald Trump in the Make America Great Again, I think is appealing to voters' emotion rather than to their reason.
So, all right, Michelle. Bill Maher has been a liberal. He's been an outright liberal. But one thing he's been consistent about, he's always said, call Islamic terror, because that's what it is, and that is hurting the left.
It is, especially because it's an issue right now that Americans care so much about. They're worried about ISIS. They're worried about possible terrorist attacks here in the United States. And on the left, they don't want to say Islamic terrorism. They don't want to go after Islamic extremists the way that Republicans do. So I do think that it's certainly an issue for them. All
right, we're going to have to leave it there. I just want a quick note to Bill Maher. See how we do it here, Bill? Fair and balanced. I agree with you on this. I'm not afraid to show it. If you ever want to come on and respond, guess what? We have a seat open right here, right next to me for you. You're invited.